Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Weiner, Democratic candidate for mayor of the city of New York. I want to welcome you all to Tottenville. Hopefully you come back plenty times after this. You've already had a little experience with Staten Island life, seeing what the traffic is and the $15 toll. That's the subject of another press conference, but to hear all around the city, we saw devastation the likes of which that few people had ever imagined. Even though you live on a place called Staten Island, I don't think anyone had envisioned anything more than a couple of inches of water in their basement. That's what they'd seen in past storms. There are people that went through Hurricane Irene just a couple of years ago, had some damage, but when Sandy came along, it completely transformed some neighborhoods, sent some people out of their homes, and frankly, upended families. There is this notion, because the cameras had left, because some of the headlines changed, that the problem was solved. But for many, many people, they are still dealing with the challenge there. We're here with Mr. Cardinale to see the other end of the spectrum. A home that is still waiting, he's a homeowner that has been wrestling with insurance companies, that has been getting help from Construct Relief to get through some of the red tape, but still has some pretty jarring stories to tell.
I've been here for 14 years with my wife and two daughters, paying homeowners insurance to Allstate, all those for that length of time, and I'm being told that my homeowner's policy is not going to cover me for the damage that was done to my house that is on the waterfront property. I'm being told if I would not elevate my home, or if I would leave it to where it is now, my flood insurance is going to be in excess of $10,000 a year, which is going to make everybody's property value plummet, I feel, because on top of your mortgage, on top of your homeowner's insurance, you're being forced to have a flood insurance policy for over $1,000 a month, and who's going to pay for something like that?
For the middle class and those struggling to make it in this town, someone's got to be talking about issues like this. Someone's got to do it. And maybe I'm not a perfect messenger, I get that. And maybe there are some people who would never consider voting for me. But you have campaigns to try to get these ideas, have these conversations out there, to try to call attention to things that you think have been ignored for too long. And you do the very best you can. And that's what I'm doing, the very best that I can. This was the fact pattern when I got in the race. And I took these questions when I got in then too. And it's not up to you to decide, it's not up to me to decide. Voters, I want to make this decision. And they've got plenty of information about me to make it on. I want to give them more every day. I'm going to keep talking about my idea book, Keys to the City, 64 Ideas for the Middle Class and Those Struggling to Make It. It's been one of the reasons we're here today, is that I knew that now you're going to come with me, and you should see this. And so I'm going to keep trying to bring issues to the forefront that I think are important to citizens. But, you know, this is from a year ago, and since I've gotten in the race, and a lot of this information, the basic facts of this information has been out there, people have said to me, some of them are concerned about these issues, but many people want to talk about their future, not necessarily my past. You know, I'm glad you're here. I understand you're doing your job. I'm trying to do mine. And mine is to communicate to the people of this city that I want to be a fighter for the middle class, for neighborhoods like Tottenville, people that, frankly, sometimes don't get enough attention paid to them. But we're, you know, to ask the question, well, how are you going to get your message out when we're talking about something else? Well, I'm going to have to hope that sooner or later we get back to talking about issues that people care about.